Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build, and happy Halloween if you are watching this on the day that it posts. This is going to be a house decorated for Halloween to celebrate this season, celebrate this holiday. This is my favorite time of year, so I really hope you will enjoy this build. It's supposed to just be sort of a cozy family home that has some decorations out all over for Halloween or the fall season, so hopefully you'll be able to use this house outside of a Halloween house and decorate it for any season or just have your family live in it. Basically what I'm trying to say is I wanted it to be versatile and be able to be used outside of just this season. So hopefully that comes across. It is a 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom house that has some extra rooms that could definitely be converted into additional bedrooms, and it comes in at 95,908 simoleons. So it's not cheap. It's not wildly expensive, and you'll see here the outside of the build takes a while to figure out. I did stream the first part of this build over on Twitch, so you might recognize part of this, but it took forever to get to the outside shape I wanted to with this house. The roof line keeps changing. Like, I had a vague idea of what I wanted to do, but I just wanted to experiment and see if we could figure it out. I basically just wanted to have a cute suburban home decorated for the holiday, and I think it came out good. It took way too long. It took like 2 hours to do the outside of this build, which I know doesn't sound too long, but it was just moving walls back and forth. We had the general shape. It was just the roofing and getting a porch out front that took a majority of the exterior time, and then decorating, and it just came together a lot slower than I had hoped for. I was really adamant about the roof looking a certain way, and I kept not liking it, and it turned out it was because of how I had the roof, the orientation of that top roof. Instead of having it go horizontal, I have it more of a vertical roof, and it just wasn't the way it was supposed to be. So it takes a while before I realize that. I play around with a lot of windows here, but in the end I think it ends up being a super cute house. I love the layout. I love all the personality in it. I feel like this could be fine just for the rest of the fall. I think it would be really cute to decorate for Christmas as well. I actually found myself imagining where the Christmas tree would be in this house, which was kind of fun. But we're getting a little ahead of schedule there. Today is Halloween, and that's what we're going to focus on. There are so many pumpkins in this house, maybe even too many, or maybe not enough, because I feel like I could have added so many more than I did, but at the same time, most of the rooms have a pumpkin in them, even the bathrooms, so it might be a little bit excessive, but I also feel like I could have done more. Let me know what you think about that, and also if you are really into Halloween or not. I know it's one of my favorite seasons, but I know not everyone shares that feeling. Anyway, this is where I finally rotated that roof, and I was like, that is what this build needed. It looks so much better now. The reason I didn't do that to begin with is because that's kind of the orientation I always have the roofs in, and I wanted to play around with it and see if we could come up with something a little bit different than what I typically do. But that turned into me really despising how it looked, so I needed to go back to what I normally do. But I think the house still came out really unique in shape, and I love the driveway I end up having going up the side of the house to a garage space on like the side of the build, which isn't something I do that often, but I think it looks really nice and it's definitely realistic. And then you don't really have to use it as a garage space if you don't want to, since we don't have cars in The Sims. I do use some debug cars on this lot though, so it looks like there are cars here, but there aren't actually functional cars, so I just tried to make it like a general garage space. We have some storage and like laundry and stuff, but hopefully someday we'll have the ability to say that we do have cars. Kind of like we've been complaining for years about babies, and now we're getting the infant life stage, so who knows, but for right now, we still do not have cars in the game. Anyway, I'm starting to work on the landscaping now. I really wanted to have some prominent trees out front that had like orange and yellow leaves. For some reason, I really wanted it to be orange, I guess because I was decorating this house for Halloween, so I wanted to lean into that color more so than the red leaves. And just trying to figure out some landscaping as well. I'm using a lot of the tool mod to place some of the bushes and trees so they are sunken into the ground a little bit more. Also, I tried having the house be this yellow color, and I love it, but it didn't feel right for this house. I wanted it to be a little bit more warm and cozy, so we will be changing it to a brown in a little bit. But I do want to build something with this yellow swatch of this wallpaper from the Vampires game pack because I think it's absolutely stunning and I definitely need to use it. Maybe I'll do another fall build or two. I'm not sure. Part of me wants to like start doing some winter builds sometime soon because I've done so many autumnal builds over the last month or so, but I don't know. We're not done with autumn yet. Maybe I should do another autumn build. Let me know what you would like to see on the channel. But anyway, this is that brown wallpaper I had mentioned. I think it looks really nice. It's just a base game one. I feel like I never use it, so it was definitely refreshing to go ahead and use the brown. For some reason, it's not a swatch I think of when I think of house exteriors, but I think it looks so cozy, especially with these yellow flower boxes and the brick on the bottom. I just think the colors came together so nicely. Anyway, over here, I'm figuring out the door. So we have like a 2-wide door that is going to be the main one into the house. And then the little one I put over onto the side that actually enters you into the garage space. And it's something I struggle with. I've seen a lot of real houses that have like 2 doors on the front porch that lead to different parts of the house. But for some reason, I never place it like that in The Sims. So I decided to today. I'm also putting a little fence out front with some grass growing up around it. And it goes pretty far back. It doesn't like fully connect in the back. I just wanted it to look like it was there. We also have a pile of leaves. We have a scarecrow, lots of pumpkins, mushrooms. I end up adding some of these little lanterns. I end up only keeping 2 of them, but I tried placing them all down the path, but I didn't like it in the end. But I thought that those were so cute and a fun decoration because I'm thinking it's probably just about to be Halloween night. So they have quite a few decorations out, but it's not too over the top. I guess I could at some point do like a tacky Halloween house. I know a couple of years ago I did a tacky Christmas house, which was so much fun. There was even a giant like snow dinosaur out front and like Santa on the roof. Maybe next year we could do something like that for Halloween. I feel like there's a lot of potential options. This month was just a little bit busy because it started off with TwitchCon, so I was across the country in California for a few days. So I didn't get to do as many things as I wanted to this month, but I'm pretty happy with what I was able to achieve and get posted when it comes to more Halloween or like occult builds and stuff like that. It's been a blast, but I'm so excited for the rest of this year. So like I said, if you have any more suggestions, do leave those. But this is the exterior on the front pretty much done. We're just going to be getting some more terrain paint here and then popping around to the back of the house to figure out the backyard and the landscaping back here. I really love how the grass came out here, like the different tones I put with terrain paint, mixing a few of those together. We also have a big porch on the back, which I didn't do a lot with. There's just like, I believe a barbecue and a trash can on it. Some spots of this house I didn't feel like I wanted to fully decorate because it's going into the colder months and I imagine your Sims would be clearing off their porches. So I decided to leave some of it a little bit more simple and allow you to decorate that to your will. When it is a season, your Sims are going to be spending a little bit more time outdoors, if that makes sense. But speaking of which, if you would like to download this house, I can't believe it's this far into the video and I haven't mentioned it yet. You could go ahead and grab this right now. It will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You could also find it under the hashtag Miss Gryphi, and that information will also be in the description down below as well. But as you can see, I just added a door over on the side that's actually like a sliding door from Snowy Escape, but I think it works really nicely as a garage door. I know a lot of us use it that way since we don't have a garage door, and that's a functional one that's a similar shape. It doesn't exactly look like one, but I think it looks pretty nice. And so that's where I have a truck parked outside. And then I'm just getting some of these rocks going down the front yard around that slope for the driveway. I just thought it looked nice and added a little bit more decoration to the space. And of course, getting some more flowers and stuff, mostly using plants from Cottage Living, the like Shalivated objects from that because it's so pretty. And I also changed the lighting on the front and back of this house to be more of an orange light. That was a suggestion from chat and I really, really love it. But now we're heading on inside to work on the floor plan. It's just a 2-floor house with 2 bedrooms. I imagine there was a teenager living here, so parents and a teen. Of course, like I said, you could definitely add some more space to this house. The whole garage is kind of unnecessary. There's like an office space in this house you might be able to turn into a bedroom depending on how you cut it off. There's definitely some possibilities here. Plus, it's a pretty big lot that I built this on. So if you want your Sims to have more kids, or maybe they share rooms, you have options here for a growing family. I just decided it would be nice to just have a teen room in this house. That's not something I do that often. I feel like I mostly would go for a kid or a toddler if there was only one additional bedroom, if it wasn't going to be a spare bed or just an office space. So I thought it was nice. I really like how it came out. And then here, this is not the furniture I'm going to keep. This is just me figuring out the floor plan. It helps me to remember where things are. If I just place down random furniture that's like, this table means it's a dining room, or this couch means it's the living room. So that's what I'm doing here, and then we will actually get into decorating it and figuring out how this space will come together. I also added a lot of archways throughout the house. I love to do that because it makes the house feel a little bit more closed off, but you can still see into all of the rooms, and it's more realistic to my experience. I know in other countries you might have doors into all of the rooms, but that's very much not what it's like here. There's doors into bedrooms and into bathrooms, but pretty much everything is either an archway or just open. Like, there's walls, but like they don't close off into a separate room, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain. But anyway, we're working on the kitchen now. I decided to use these countertops from Parenthood. They're some of my favorites. They're that orangey color, that perfect pumpkin color that I feel like I needed in this space. And they feel like a friendly family home as well because they are from Parenthood. So I decided to use those in here and have a warm brown tile and just trying to get all of the basics in this kitchen. I often forget to do dishwashers, so lately I've been really trying to add those to my builds. So I definitely got one in here, and then getting some blinds in this room as well, and really struggling to place them. I have fiddled around with this so long, the windows and the blinds in here, trying to get it to look good. I'm keeping in at least some of it. You can see me playing with it, but I cut out a good deal of it. I also got a little table and chairs in here. This one is from Cottage Living. I should be getting the chairs here shortly, but I decided I wanted to have another piece of counter over on this side of the kitchen to fill up that wall and also to make it a little bit more interesting of a space. So that's how that ended up laying out, and the little shelf by the door I'll be cluttering up with some kitchen clutter, you know. Well, what else would it be? Bathroom clutter, but I did get a linoleum in here, and here are those chairs that I had mentioned. I'm not going to remember until way later, like after we finish the kitchen, that I didn't put a trash can in here, so no worries on that. I do go back and I do add one. And of course I got the cutting boards and pumpkin time. It's the beginning of pumpkins absolutely everywhere. So there ends up being 2 over here in the kitchen, and then there's a candy bowl that I'm going to be putting on the table here, which came from the Spooky Day stuff pack that has a jack-o'-lantern face on it. And then I'm just going to clutter up this little shelf here. I believe we get this little haunted house, a couple of jars, and a like lantern sort of piece. I just wanted it to look super cozy, and I think it did. These canisters are from the Country Kitchen kit, which was like the first kit that we got. I think it's one of the best ones as well. And they just look really lived in and like realistic pieces you might have in your house. So I wanted to include those here. And then I used the Space Game lantern. And I got rid of one of those because it felt a little bit too cluttered. But over here, I just have another table with some like coffee pieces above it and a little plant. And that's pretty much it for the kitchen. Although a little bit later on when I'm working on the living room, I do knock down a couple of the walls to have like a half wall so you can look into the kitchen space. That's kind of an outdated thing that used to be present in a lot of houses, but I thought that this house could still have that little quirk to it, so I do knock that down a little bit later. But we're working on the downstairs bathroom now. There are 2 other bathrooms in this house. They're all a little bit different, but they have the same tiles and the same fixtures for the most part. One of the bathrooms, the ensuite to the primary, has a shower and a tub separately. But other than that, they are pretty much all the same items, just configured differently. But there will be screenshots at the end if you would like to see that. It's just this video was already super long, so I didn't want to include all of the bathrooms. So I just stopped recording when I was working on those. But over here, we're just getting our toilet and a painting on the wall. And then I'm going to be changing out the shower because I love this one from Parenthood, but it didn't have the swatches I wanted, and I still really hope we get some more shower tub combos that have curtains on them, because I think that's just such a realistic thing to have, and we don't have enough of them in the game. Anyway, now we are working on the entryway that is also connected to the living room. I decided to rotate this mirror with tool to put above this entryway table. I think it looks a lot better that way. It's just kind of frustrating how difficult it is to go ahead and rotate that item. But I was glad that I did it. And we have another candy bowl by the door. So there's one for the household at the kitchen, and then this one is for trick-or-treaters. And then, of course, decorating the space here. I wanted to use this couch, but first, before we finish that, I am knocking down the wall here. I just think it looks so cute. I feel like it adds a little bit more personality to this house. And like I said, it's a little fun quirk. And this is where I realized I didn't have a trash can. So adding it there. And then I was thinking there was only 2 parents and 1 teen here. So I don't think we need like a lot of living room furniture. So I just got a 3-seater couch and then like a little chair in the corner. And I had fun with the color scheme using this rug from the Werewolves pack. And then I couldn't decide where I wanted to put the TV, so I'm just playing around with the placement there. But I think this space looks super cute and like just really cozy. I also put some paintings on the floor, and then we got a big bookcase over here as well. And I was just overall very, very happy with this living room. And I think it's a little bit different, and it feels very like warm and autumnal, but like a cozy family home at the same time. And I think that corner where I have that plant that's in a basket right there would be perfect for a Christmas tree. I had mentioned that I was thinking about that. So if you do have a family live in this house, I think this house will be very helpful throughout the seasons. But I think this area, if you moved the archway to be, or changed it to a smaller one and cut off part of this room, that could potentially be a smaller other bedroom. You could do the same thing in the garage space. There's some options here to expand this house. And then over here, I was just really not sure what to put. So I put a plant, and then we have a like autumnal wreath up above this table in the entryway and, or not entryway, in this little office space off to the side, which is where the staircase to upstairs is. I also have a computer desk, and over here, I believe we get like a cork board, and oh yeah, we got another chair over here and a little table. I just kept arranging the furniture in here. I couldn't figure out what layout I wanted it to be in, but it worked out beautifully in the end. I really like how it came out. It just took a lot of fiddling because it's kind of a weird room tucked at the bottom of the staircase, but it did come together. So yeah, just getting some more paintings in this space and a little bit of clutter for the desk. Got a lamp and a little notebook for your Sims to write in, and then we are heading into the garage space. I wanted to have some scale building items in here. And definitely, since this was a house decorated for Halloween, we needed to have the pumpkin carving station, which came with the Spooky Day stuff pack. You can actually have your Sims carve pumpkins. So I thought that that was fun, and we should include that. But I also have a flower arranging table, a sink, laundry, a keyboard, just a bunch of items in here that your Sims will be able to use, and lots of decorations as well to make it look like a garage. I even included a bike in here and the like decoration box from Seasons, so you can decorate for the various holidays in the game. And I just really liked this area with all of these little photos and stuff over the keyboard. I just thought it was a cute touch. I don't know why. I just thought we should have some sort of personal items hanging up over there. But now we're suddenly upstairs working on the bedrooms in this house, the last 2 rooms that we have to decorate, because I decorated the other 2 bathrooms and the hallway off camera. But this is the primary bedroom. It's very warm and green and brown. And I also have carpets in these bedrooms. They're fully carpeted because I think that's a really realistic thing. I know it depends on where in the world you live, but where I live, an area that gets very vibrant autumns, we have carpets everywhere. I've never not had a carpeted space. So I occasionally will try to include those in builds, even though most of the time in The Sims, I'm like, I want hardwood floors because I want to build the things that I wish I had. But for this house, I decided the carpet would be kind of cozy and a little bit different than what I normally do. Plus, it breaks up the wood a little bit in this room. Also, ignore the fact that there are 2 full-length mirrors in that bedroom. I noticed later, and I get rid of it. But this is going to be the teenager's room. It's like orange, blue, and yeah, orange and blue. There's some red in here as well. I put 2 of these beds together from Parenthood. I think it is so pretty. I was thinking this teenager was into music and science. So those are the kind of posters I put around the space, and they have like some cozy hangout areas in here, as well as like a guitar and their book bag, and I just tried to clutter it up and make it look cute. I liked the colors that were in here. They're a lot more vibrant than the rest of the house, but I still feel like they feel autumnal or fall in color. So it was, I think, pretty, what is the word I'm looking for? It fit nicely with the color scheme I had in mind. I sometimes can't think of words. When you're talking to yourself for long periods of time in a voiceover, sometimes you just lose the ability to think of things. You're trying to gather your thoughts while watching everything on screen and not forget to say certain things. Anyway, I'm adding a couple of dressers over here from Tiny Living. I put those two together. They're a similar wood tone, and there is this like beanbag chair from high school years, our guitar and book bag, and that's pretty much it for this room. Just getting some more posters, and then I think we'll be going outside to add a couple last touches to the backyard. Yeah, we're just making sure everything is all set here. This is where I realized I didn't have an outdoor trash can, so I'm just grabbing that real quick. And then we end up having a picnic bench out here with a umbrella, a couple of planters, just a couple of things your Sims would probably be able to use outside. But I kept it fairly simple as we are heading into the colder months here in the game, and your Sims are probably not spending as much time outside. So with that, we are coming to the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thank you so very much for watching. Enjoy the screenshots, and happy Halloween. Bye, everyone.